Yeah, actually, I like to go with a... I'm trying to think of, like, what it's called. I'm blanking on the name, but basically it's, for now, it's kind of a style with simple shading of just kind of solid lines and only certain few spots of actual gradual shading. I seem to like that, and a lot of people seem to like that style that I do. And, you know, I don't mind it. Actually, I think it looks kind of cool. No, I actually, I only use Paint Tool SAI when I'm doing, but I mean, it really doesn't matter what you use. Like, I just like Paint Tool SAI, it's just kind of cool for me. You know, I use like a tablet, so, I mean, a graphics tablet, so, I mean, I don't think it'd be as great for those who don't have a graphics tablet. I mean, before I had a graphics tablet, I did everything on GIMP and I vectored. Well, actually, how I like to shade is, I'll create a new layer, and then I'll just take the darkest black I have, and I'll go over the picture kind of, and then I'll bring down the opacity of the picture to, like, you know, around 13% or whatever. Sometimes a little bit higher, so that way I can see what I'm doing. Then I'll, you know, keep on coloring that in, and then I'll take, you know, the blend tool inside, and I'll go over it. And I mean, sometimes I'll spend up to, like, you know, just 15-30 minutes just going over this one spot of shading just to get it perfect. And I'll, you know, and I'll sometimes dab just a tiny with the eraser, you know, and, you know, keep on going back over it. And I have actually my blend tool, their blender blur, I can't remember what it's called inside, but besides the point. Yeah, I actually have it like set at like 50% of opacity, so that way it doesn't have a lot of effect with just one swipe. So I do a lot of small changes is how I, you know, do that. You know, it's called the blur tool. That's what it is. It's a lot of small, tiny, gradual changes, and I just gotta keep on doing this over and over and over until it's just right. I mean, sometimes just looking at it first glance, I mean, it would look like I'm not even doing anything. But if you look really, really closely, you can just barely see that I'm, you know, doing something. Actually, flipped it around. It's actually darker than what it looks like in the end. I like to do it darker because, or, you know, because I'll play around with the opacity. I'll sometimes bring it all the way back to 100% to where it's, you know, this straight black over top of it that gradually fades. So that way I can really see what I'm doing, and then when I bring down the opacity again, it, you know, really helps. Because, I mean, even though it might be extremely hard to notice that, you know, something has changed, just that little bit of detail really helps. No, I'd actually like to get Photoshop, but I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I don't know, I might go around and torrent it sometime, maybe, I don't know. But I've used GIMP before, and it's pretty much just like Photoshop. I mean, I've worked with both softwares, and I mean, although I really do like the layout and the look and feel of Photoshop, I don't know, I kind of started out with GIMP, and so still been kind of my little bit of a go-to tool. I don't know if I can do that. I'm a big fan of just taking donations. Maybe if I'm giving something, maybe if I'm doing it, like, you know, maybe if they're paying me for something, yeah, alright, I'm fine with that. I'm pretty big fan of just taking donations, though. I would like to work for my money. To know that I've earned that dollar, and that dollar is mine because I've earned it. Very observant. Yes, that is correct. I think they should. I think they should bring her back in a little bit more. And I mean, honestly, I'd also like to see an episode just about like Celestia and Luna, especially. Yeah. I think that would be a really interesting episode since the none has been shown. And although we did get quite the introduction to Luna with, Luna Eclipse or whatever it's the title of the episode. Yeah, I mean, I would really like to, see that because, I mean, Luna's been brought back and, that she's kind of estranged and also they've shown her a little bit and most of the time they show her, it tends to be really brief, which makes you wonder if, the writers are doing something, like, with Luna, they're building up, tension or something for. I'm not certain. They could be, that's why they're not really showing Luna a lot, is because they got something big planned and they don't want to a lot of, predetermined, what we think of her character, I guess. They don't want us to build too much of an opinion. I have no clue. But I would like to see more of her. So, I think that would be something really neat. And I think a lot of people would like to see more of her, though. She's pretty popular. Well, they actually have done a lot of shading before. It all really artistically depends on the situation. Because with that style, especially, sometimes your shading is extremely minimalistic, but in darker situations, that's when your shading, stops really being so minimalistic and starts to become a little bit more think about, I can't remember the episode for some reason, it's escaping my mind, but it's where Rainbow Dash is kind of flying out of it's just slowly flying out of the darkness or whatever while she's saying something, and the camera view is just focused on her face. I have nothing else to really say. What is it? Oh, shit.